All right, everybody. Hi, it's Dave Kramer, Critical Thinking Christian. This is video number 3 today. And this video, what I'm going to do right now is talk about Jesus Christ and his imminent return, which apparently must have happened back then, because that is pretty much what you get out of this. Yeah, my brain went shut down as soon as this turned on. But Jesus claimed, okay, what he was trying to get across to his disciples is that I'm coming back soon. Okay, and one of the passages that I was thinking about for a while was Matthew 10 verses 23, when he says to his disciples, "But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come." All right. Now, I have seen or heard arguments of, well, that means the Holy Spirit. That means when God gives the Holy Spirit. No. This says, till the Son of Man be come, meaning I'm coming back. And before you're going to be going around and you're going to get over here and you still got all of this part of Israel to get to, and boom, I'm coming back. Well, unless the disciples are still alive today and they haven't in 2,000 years time, they have not got around to all of Israel, well then this here is a failed prophecy. Okay, let's go over here. This is the website Black Non-Believers Incorporated. And here's another one. I think I used this in a video where, okay, Jesus Christ at one point got transfigured. They went up to the top of a mountain. I forget which mountain it was. And he was transfigured, and then there was Moses and Elijah. And I don't know if it was 3 days or 6 days after he said this that this happened. But here, this is what he says. For the Son of Man is going to come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and will then repay every man according to his deeds. Truly I say to you, there are some of those who are standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. That's Matthew 16, verses 27 and 28. The argument, well, that was the transfiguration. No, that wasn't the transfiguration. He will come in the glory of his Father, okay, coming in his kingdom, come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then repay every man according to his deeds. And however many days this was from this point until the transfiguration, whether it was 3 or 6, I thought maybe it was 6 days. Well, they all were alive at that point, every one of them. Now, I think it was Peter and I know John was up there on the mountain. And they say, well, those disciples. Well, he didn't say, some of you will see me being transfigured. He said, some of you will not taste death. And all of them were alive at that point. So there's another failed prophecy. Unless those disciples, I guess, see, these are the disciples who are not going to taste death, that are still poking around over there in Israel and going, don't worry, take your time. We don't have to get through all of these areas. I know it's been over 2,000 years. Don't worry about that. He'll come, and, I mean, another failed prophecy. Okay, and how many times where he says This generation will not pass away until all these things take place. Okay? That's in Matthew. Matthew 24, verses 25 to 34. Mark 13, verses 26 to 30. This generation will not pass away until all these things take place. Luke 21, 27 to 32. This generation will not pass away until all these things take place. And how do we look at this? How do Christians look at it? Well, every generation is like Jesus is pointing at you. Your generation. Now, this generation. This generation. This generation. When if you look at it from the disciples' point of view, they're sitting there listening to Jesus say, your generation. This generation will not pass away until all these things take place. Okay, Matthew 26, 63 and 64. But Jesus kept silent, and the high priest said to him, I adjure you by the living God that you tell us whether you are the Christ, the Son of God. And Jesus said to him, you have said it yourself. Nevertheless, I tell you hereafter, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. And then people will try to say, well, that means that when he is risen, when he's risen, you know, this guy will see him at Judgment Day. Coming means he's coming back. It means his second coming, according to Christianity, where he's coming back. This guy, Jesus told him, this priest, you will see me. All right? Now here in 1 Corinthians 7, verses 27 and then 29 to 31, it says, do not seek a wife. This is what I mean, brothers. The appointed time has grown very short. From now on, let those who have wives live as though they had none, and those who mourn as though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as though they had no goods, and those who deal with the world as though they had no dealings with it. For the present form of this world is passing away. Okay? He's talking to the Corinthian Christians. Don't worry about seeking a wife. Things are soon going to end. Okay? Okay, you 20-year-old guy, don't worry about that. You know, before, I mean, you get a wife and boom, everything ends. You know, just act like it's over. Was it over? No, here we are. You know, 2,000 years later. James 5, 8, 9. The coming of the Lord is near. The judge is standing right at the door. He's talking to those people. It's imminent. You know, it says that. It says it's imminent. I am coming quickly. I am coming quickly. And then in Peter, you have Peter go, well, you know, a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a day. Okay, so 2 days have passed. Like I said, you know, Matthew 16:28, well, that rationalization is a transfiguration where it's clear he said, coming in my kingdom, not the transfiguration. He would have made it plain. And that's the thing about the Bible. That's why we need apologists, so that they can rationalize and they can argue against it and try to manipulate you to think with their word salad and their mental gymnastics. Wow, that's, you know, I mean, this is what this means, and that's, you just got to believe it. Just believe it. You got to have faith. Failed prophecies. That's why there are such beliefs as preterism and full preterism. There's half preterism, where he accomplished most of his prophecies back there in before AD 70 or at AD 70, and then there's some stuff that he's going to do in the future. Full preterism means that by AD 70, boom, that was it. Rationalization number 2, the word translated generation can mean race, so Jesus meant the Jewish race would not die out before he returns. It's a manufactured definition to suit doctrinal purposes. Now, let's look at generation. Let's look at generation. All right, let's look at the meaning of generation, because this here is an apologist's yeah. All right. Generation. All of the people born and living at about the same time regarded collectively. The production of something. Meaning, okay. But what we're talking about here is all the people born and living about the same time. But, okay, the apologists want to rationalize and say generation can mean race. And that's one of the things about apologists, that the total crap that comes out of their mouth, because they know that their little sheep are going to just go along with what they say. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not going to look it up, like me. Look it up and then go, well, wait a minute. Generation doesn't mean race. It means all the people. This generation, everybody. Jew, Gentile, Roman, Scythian, Greek, all of them. I don't know if I said this, but there was one time when some guy said to, what was it, William Lane Craig, he said, if you go back in the time machine, that you were right there at the moment when the resurrection was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen, would you still believe it? And William Lane Craig said yes. What a piece of shit. He's a liar. I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid to stand here and argue. This is my idea. That's disingenuous. And of course, this generation, rationalization 3, this generation always refers to this generation. Not that generation. So, I just wanted to make this video. There's a lot of failed prophecies and total, look at it, like I said, look at it from that generation's point of view. Those people that were sitting there listening to Jesus when he told them, this generation, you'll see me. You won't die until you see me coming in my kingdom with power. Because that's, okay, you won't get through preaching to all these areas before I come back. So, that's all I want to say right now. And when I find something else out, what I'll do, what I'll do is I'll put the link to that article. If you want to read that whole article, you can read the whole article. But that's it. That's all I have for today. And like I said, like, subscribe, don't like, just let me know what you think. And until next time, I'm David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.